Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast update for the Corn Belt. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. We'll check out temperatures here first thing. It's 8 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, November 24th. We got a warm air mass surging northward in advance of an approaching storm system over the Four Corners region. We got dew points in the 40s and 50s, temperatures in the 40s and 50s, being lifted northward into the Central Plains. We'll see that spreading eastward into the mid-Mississippi Valley and the eastern Corn Belt as we head through the rest of the day into tomorrow. The satellite picture here, you can see it. Here is the approaching storm system, upper level divergence. We've got the winds fanning out as they spread east of the Rockies into the Central Plains. We've got a big area of cloud cover, a big area of precipitation. As we look at the radar here again, early on Tuesday morning, a big area of rain with some snow kind of on the north side here. A little bit of snow falling across parts of Iowa, Wisconsin, northern Illinois, even back into Nebraska and Colorado today. And then we've got some thunderstorms on the southern side here, on the warm sector. You even have the chance for some strong storms as we head through the next day or two. We'll start with the hazards map here. You can see some purple shading across parts of the Great Lakes where we have patches of the region under winter weather advisories. Same thing as you head back into the Rockies, the Denver area with winter weather advisories there, as we expect a couple of inches of snow in those areas, though the northern play up here across North Dakota into Minnesota, that is mostly tapering off at this point. Now, I mentioned severe storms as we turn our attention to the warm sector of the storm system. Again, snow from Colorado up to the Great Lakes. South of that, we've got a slight risk for some strong storms across parts of the panhandle regions of Texas and Oklahoma into central Oklahoma, with a marginal risk spreading into parts of Kansas and Missouri into the Ozarks as we head into the overnight tonight. Tomorrow, that risk shifts off to the east, as far north as parts of central Illinois, central Indiana, with the potential to see a rogue strong storm or two producing some large hail, maybe some gusty winds, and even an isolated tornado possible anywhere here in that marginal risk from kind of Interstate 70 down toward parts of the Gulf Coast. Now we'll look at our proprietary Nutrien thunderstorm index. This helps us kind of look at the intensity of the environment there, the volatility, and help us understand, if a thunderstorm forms in this environment, the likelihood that it may turn severe. And again, as we look at parts of the Red River through the late afternoon into the evening hours tonight, and then spreading into the Ozarks as we get to around midnight. So kind of this corridor here is where I'm concerned as we talk about late this evening into the overnight. Then as we take this into Wednesday afternoon, we see that surface low lifting across Missouri into central Illinois. It'll pull that unstable air mass all the way into, again, parts of central Illinois. So as we head through Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, kind of again, along and south of Interstate 70, I think is the most likely region that we may see some strong storms. Again, large hail, some gusty winds, maybe a tornado or two possible in that orange shaded area, I guess, is the general region that I'm watching. Again, from central Illinois, central Indiana, southward into the Gulf Coast. So certainly not the time of the year that we're typically talking about this kind of thing. So wanted to make sure that everyone in that area is aware from Oklahoma into Illinois and Indiana over the next 36 hours. Now, total precipitation over the next 7 days, a couple of corridors of an inch or more expected, again, across parts of the mid-Mississippi Valley, down into the Gulf Coast. A lot of this falling with a second storm system here that arrives over the back half of the weekend into early next week. Now, the pattern that's driving all of this, very wavy, riddled with storm systems here, and we've got a storm track that's kind of coming out of the Chukchi Sea across the Aleutian Islands, through the Gulf of Alaska, down into the Pacific Northwest, and then these storm systems are kind of sneaking in across the Rockies, tapping into the Gulf now, and that's what's leading to this corridor of heavier precipitation from the central and southern plains northeastward into the Ohio River Valley. So as I kind of take the drawings off here, just focus on this corridor and watch the train of waves coming through over the next 5 to 7 days, and that's going to keep us very active, very unsettled across the Corn Belt as we head into the end of November, the very beginning of December. It's going to need some changes as well. So here's the system making its way through right now. We got this well-defined trough. Well, now the mouse connection is covering up. There it is. Here's our wave embedded within the stronger flow. Again, this one pushes into Illinois and Indiana as we head through the day on Wednesday. The second storm system, or the next storm system in the line, comes digging in here as we get into the holiday weekend. Doesn't emerge on the east side of the Rockies here until we get into late next week. And then we've got, it looks like it's going to cut off We'll keep the stronger jet stream flow off to the north, and this leads to some high uncertainty with this end of the weekend, early next week storm system. So very active pattern, multiple storm systems lined up, but we really only have good agreement on the storm system that we've got over the next 48 hours. And I'll show you some of the disagreement here in just a moment to let you know what I'm seeing. So what I want to look at first is the dew points here with our surface winds overlaid on top of them over the next 24 hours. That'll help us pick out the environment that's going to be favorable for strong storms as we head through the next 48 hours. Again, as we get into Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, this is the region that we're watching. You see the feed of deep Gulf moisture coming north. You see the dry line. You see this push of dry air coming in from the southwest. You've got the cold front coming in off from the northwest. That's what we call a triple point there, the junction of that dry line, the warm front, the warm, moist air, the cold front, and your surface low. And so again, this is the region that we watch for those strong storms to develop during the afternoon and evening, spreading off to the east as we head into the overnight. We'll take the drawings off and just watch this surge of moisture, watch the front as it makes its way off to the north and to the east. This is what we've got as we head into Wednesday afternoon and evening. Again, that cold front extending from central Illinois. You can follow it all the way down into the southern U.S., Louisiana, Mississippi. And again, it's going to be along and ahead of that front where we've got the unstable air mass, the strong flow from that trough coming in across the southern plains. You get the combination of the humid air mass, the instability, and the strong upper level flow. That's why we have the chance for a couple of strong storms across that region over the next day and a half. So we'll quickly look at the radar then, talking about where these storms are going to be developing, where the snow is going to be likely. This is as we get going here Tuesday morning. Big area of rain from the southern plains into Nebraska and Iowa with some snow on the north side of that. We take this into Tuesday evening. We start to get those strong storms developing across Oklahoma. Let me go ahead and get started here again. I didn't mean to click off of that. It's very sensitive. There we go. We'll bring this back to Tuesday evening, right around 6 p.m. Starting to get those strong storms going across central Oklahoma. We've got the snow going on the north side there across parts of Kansas. We've got rain and thunderstorms spreading across the Mississippi River from Missouri into Illinois. It could be a rumbly night across parts of this region here with heavy rain and thunderstorms occurring. There's a chance for a couple of strong storms. And then this is what happens tomorrow on Wednesday afternoon and evening. We get the first wave of showers and storms that moves on off to the north and to the east. But then it's looking like we may see an area of clearing as we head into the mid-afternoon hours, kind of, again, along and ahead of that front, a little sunshine to allow the atmosphere to destabilize beneath the cold temperatures of that upper level low. And that's where we get a second round of thunderstorms developing during the afternoon and evening. Again, ahead of that surface low, ahead of the cold front, across parts of central Illinois, central Indiana, down along the front into Kentucky and Tennessee, and then parts of the southeast. Now we'll take this into Wednesday night. Now Thursday morning, as the sun comes up on Thursday, we should be dry. We'll have high pressure settling back in. It's going to be a bit cooler. Thanksgiving holiday, though, looking very calm, very quiet across the Corn Belt as a way, I guess you could say. This is noon on Thursday, Thanksgiving afternoon. They're dealing with some rain from the departing storm system across the northeast, but we've got high pressure now across the midsection of the country, and we're going to keep it dry until we get through the weekend to the back half of the weekend into early next week. So total snow between now and Friday morning. You can see the corridors that's going to be possible. The heaviest surrounding the Denver area, but we got the opportunity for anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow here across parts of Kansas into kind of the Lincoln, Nebraska area. Also got a chance for a couple of inches of snow across central Wisconsin into northern Michigan. We'll take this a little bit longer until we get to that second storm system. I'll show you some of the differences between the models here. So we get going through Tuesday afternoon and evening, severe storms across parts of Oklahoma, heavy rain with some embedded thunder from Kansas into Missouri, parts of northern Illinois spreading into central Illinois during the overnight, snow on the backside there across Kansas into southeast Nebraska as we head into Wednesday morning. This is sunrise on Wednesday morning now. We'll take this into Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. Now is when we could be seeing the chance for a couple of strong storms across this region as the cold front sweeps through. We dry out quickly Wednesday night into Thursday morning. High pressure across the region for the Thanksgiving holiday. Friday looking great as well across the across the Corn Belt. With high pressure sliding in. We'll continue to keep it quiet likely into Saturday. This is when we get some questions, though. This low cuts off across the region. We've got the fast jet stream flow kind of resuming off to the northeast. We've got the polar jet racing from northwest to southeast. So when does the cutoff low emerge? Does it interact with anything embedded within the kind of redeveloped, re-strengthening polar jet stream? At this point, it looks like the low wants to emerge here across the south as we get into, this is noon Sunday, getting into Sunday evening and now into Monday morning with the chance for some snow as cold air comes in on the backside across parts of the eastern Corn Belt. Now, why I'm hesitant to tell you that this is exactly how it's going to happen, if we just look at the European model on the left, the GFS on the right, we've got the difference of several hundred miles, several states, when we talk about the location of that surface low at midnight on Sunday night into Monday morning. So the European model would have that over the Mid-South, kind of around central Tennessee, northern Alabama. The GFS has that surface low moving off across the Atlantic coast at that point. So we're talking about the difference, again, of probably 500 miles, 3 states here, and we're talking about just on the other side of 5 days out into the future. So got great agreement on what's going to be happening here with the storm system moving through the midsection of the U.S. right now, but and then good agreement that we're going to have a second storm system emerging. But as it gets cut off across the southwest and then kind of left behind by the polar jet stream, that leads to some big uncertainty as to, where these two are going to meet up. Again, you see the two systems here, the one embedded within the polar jet, this cutoff low. What's the interaction going to be between these two? It makes a huge difference on the location of the storm, the intensity of the storm, and then the impacts with that. Where's the rain? Do we get any snow? And how much snow do we get across the eastern Corn Belt early next week? So there you go. I'm going to back off. I'll show you the total precip between now and Friday, so just over the next 4 days. And again, you can see a big corridor here with the potential to pick up an inch or more of rain from Kansas into the eastern Corn Belt south to the Gulf of Mexico. We'll take it out over the next 10 days using the ensemble, the probability of picking up 1 inch or more of precipitation on the left, and then we'll take it up to 2 inches or more on the right. And again, you can see a corridor here with good shot at picking up an inch from Kansas City into the Quad Cities. But then as we talk about 2 inches or more, we're talking more about where we get that second storm system, a little bit more likely to get that second storm system across the southern U.S. 2 rounds of soaking rain down there. So as we look at high temperatures, just to wrap it up again, kind of some pockets of cooler and warmer temperatures across the Corn Belt right now, not necessarily uniform across the region with storm systems traveling through. Tomorrow, again, warmer in advance of our next storm system, a little bit cooler on the backside though, already starting to warm back up across the high plains. A beautiful Thanksgiving on tap. Again, quiet conditions, a lot of sunshine, temperatures in the 30s, 40s, and 50s across the Corn Belt. Here's your Friday and your Saturday. I think that's where it ends. It is where it ends. Likely to trend cooler as we head into next week. I'm going to leave it at that. I do want to let you know that Nutrien is going to be a holiday for us, obviously, here Thursday and Friday. So this will be the last Corn Belt video this week. I'll be back to talk to you next week. We will have a long-range weather analysis tomorrow, though, if you're looking for those clues as to where we're headed over the next couple of weeks.